High and dry because, man, that rain just didn't let up today, Josh.
No, and if you can believe it, it's only going to intensify over the next several hours. So, yeah, we're in for a very busy 24-hour stint of active, wild Wednesday weather as we move our way through the Pacific Northwest. So here you go, the grand tour, anywhere from Vancouver to Portland, out towards the Swan Island Dahlias, to the coastline and the high terrain, picking up on that active, wet weather as our temperature out at PDX is hovering right around 52 degrees. We've already managed to pick up a ½ inch of the moisture out along the coast in Tillamook, nearing that 10th inch marker just over it here for the Rose City, as we anticipate those numbers to continue to increase as the KOIN 6 weather alert is in place, as the moisture is in no short supply. Those yellows and oranges that you start to see pushing their way through parts of Washington County right now, taking aim at much of the metro area. That in part to why the Portland National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued that flood advisory for the Coast Range and the I-5 corridor, as excessive rains over the next 24 hours are expected to increase the urban flooding potential. Adding insult to injury, the strong winds also posing a bit of a threat, with gusts along the coast nearing 60 miles per hour. The Willamette Valley could see those gusts nearing about 45 miles per hour as we move through the overnight hours and into Wednesday, as our wind gusts have already managed to crop up close to about 10 to 15 miles per hour over the past hour or so, but only expected to get stronger in strength as they come out of the south. So that really kind of gives us a free range here through the Willamette Valley for them to start to howl their way into the Portland, Vancouver metro area, just the same along the coast with no tree line out over the ocean. So that's one reason why those winds are really starting to become quite gusty. So we got a slight chance for potentially tonight into Wednesday seeing some power outage impacts due to downed trees. On top of that, we have a marginal risk of severe weather, a 1 out of 5 chance. Not something we see very often, especially along the Oregon coast as we work our way into Wednesday. So thunderstorm activity, large hail, and even the spin-up tornado here and there is a possibility, very similar to what we saw yesterday night with that confirmed EF0 tornado along the coast, as our flooded roadways are a very real possibility, especially with a lot of those fresh leaves now coming to the ground. Here it is timed out with the Futurecast. The wet weather is just going to stay persistent tonight into tomorrow with those yellows, oranges, and reds. You'll notice that the snow starts to ramp up by the time we get closer to Thursday, as the atmospheric river rains also helps to usher in slightly warmer temperatures. So the rain gauges, they are ready to get a good drink of water here, nearing about a full inch for the I-5 corridor, closer to 2 inches for many of our coastal communities, as snow elevation levels start to dwindle and drift closer to about 3,500 feet Friday into Saturday. The difference is we actually start to dry out our skies. So over the next several days, expecting Mount Hood to see a decent amount of snowfall above 6,000 feet, but places like Government Camp, maybe just a light dusting and mostly wet roadways. So tonight here in the city, 51 degrees is our expected low. Those winds, they will become blustery at times, as a KOIN 6 weather alert is in place tonight into tomorrow due to all of the active weather we are expected to experience here within the next day or so. Then we start to dry things out Friday into Saturday. Yes, Saturday will be mostly dry until after sunset. Then the wet weather returns as those temperatures start to slide back into the low 50s for our daytime highs. So a very busy week ahead for us. This is very typical November weather with the rain.
Oh gosh, and with that weather alert, so don't forget that is in effect, especially after seeing that tornado from last night. Be aware.
Keep an eye to the sky.
Yeah, thanks Josh.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, Boeing.